Alright, so welcome to Connected Rivers. Bit of an interesting map, this one. So we got Ares and Wade. So the blue Egyptians and the yellow Norse player up against T1mzZ and Smiga. The red Romans and the green Indians player. And good luck, have fun, guys. The thing with this map is this is the only fish on the map, so as much as it's a nice start to potentially get a couple of fishing boats, and there is actually 4 schools of fish here. So you do have 4,000 food on your doorstep, but it makes it a bit uncomfortable to actually build. You've actually got to have a bit of an outcrop of buildings somewhere here, generally around resources to actually do anything with. You know, you get your second town center over here or whatever. It'd be an interesting start for our players, I'm sure. Wade's got an opportunity for a really good storehouse there, so he's going to take that. But now Ares, he does have the wood for a dock, but I don't know if that's what he's going to go for yet. Smiga managing to go for the dock at this stage. No fishing boat just yet, but he might cram one in. Because he's probably got the best water here, actually. It's tucked well behind his town center. That one's a little bit front side. That one's a little bit front side. That one's a little bit front side, but it's still pretty defensible. So Smiga's probably lucked out with the best dock placement here, or best school of fish placement to put a perfect dock. He's just going to go straight for a fairly standard quick H2. He's got options for stone mines here, so he can go for a second town center pretty quickly. For now, he's just got the quickest H2. Smiga obviously investing in a couple of boats. And Tim's, you know, he's gathering stone already, rather than working straight towards H2. Same with Wade over here. Wade the traditionalist, not worrying about fishing at all. Just getting hunting dogs, going straight on the hunt as soon as he's gathered an initial bit of fish there. A bit slower gather rate for the fish. So, it'll be interesting to see if he catches a bit up on score there in the long run, because he did take that eco tech as well. Smiga going through a third fishing boat. You can even look at grabbing the villagers off and putting them on the cows, and then just going for even a 4th boat if he wants. T1mzZ is going to start on a second TC there, only with the engineer for now. Just gathering a little bit more resources, bringing the villagers across from the stone mine too. So, building towards Smiga here. They've got a lot of resources in the center here, and they want to make sure they don't get cut off, because if they can start sort of conglomerating their bases, and I suppose Ares and Wade are eventually going to do the same thing. If they can really conglomerate their bases, it makes it easier to defend one another. Combined walling, rather than having to sort of wall yourselves in separately from one another. It just make it hard for your opponent to push in and separate you. Make them have to attack you from the flank. So no loom yet for Smiga. Ares is going for a bit of a camel raid here. It's got nothing to really defend this, because Ares has actually played super aggressively here. Gone straight for H2 and just made us stables. Smiga's second TC is finishing up though. So once he gets these villagers all out, you know, Ares will be able to take that house, and that'll pretty much be it, because you can just repair the boats. And he's going to get a barracks there, get some spearmen. Wade actually building away from Ares here. Because, I mean, it does secure a bit more resources here. Because for now, I think he's pretty content just to sit back and wait. Because Tim's attack timing is going to be a little bit of a way away here. Getting Castellum and Praetorium. If we get Decurions, but he's not going to want to get too many too quickly, just in case Ares comes across the map and snipes them. So Wade's going to start getting a bit of army now. Oh, and there's no spears out just yet for Smiga. He's got the first one. He's going to get conditioning and then add the next. He needs to keep those boats moving. Wade going to start adding a little bit of army here, getting that first barracks now. And Tim's has already started adding a bit of his own. Ares has kind of accomplished what he set out to do here. He's only on 1 TC himself, but now he's really punished Smiga for that early greed there. Smiga does have the quickest second TC, I think, doesn't he? He or Tim's got it. So, but Wade, unpunished so far, building up that Norse army of his. Seems to be looking to try and do the same with his Roman army here. Well, there's been a bit of first blood already between Ares and Smiga, with Ares getting his second TC now. He's brought the camels across the map. I don't know if he actually managed to kill a Decurion then at all, or if he's just been trying to sweep the map and try and find something. I like this armory placement from Wade. It's very secure, very hard to get to. Not really a good spot to put it near the first TC, other than maybe here, but then that's out of range. Harry's going to try and tickle T1mz's pickle. And oh, it looks like he will be able to kill the engineers, delay that armory, because otherwise that would go up at a similar time to Wade, so he can put Wade a little bit in front of T1mz here. While Smiga's wanting to push forward and try and put a bit of pressure on Ares now. It's been a good raid here from T1mz. I mean from Ares on T1mz. Who needs to try and get a couple of spears in the mix. These guys have built really close towards one another. It's been a really good showing. Wade trying to get a bit of map control here. In the long run, this might actually be worth it. Bearing in mind, considering that Ares and Wade haven't actually been raided much by T1mz and Smiga at this point. Camels proving to be ever the pest. In fact, that monastery doesn't quite finish. So if Smiga doesn't finish this, he's actually going to lose 90% of the resources he spent building it for good. He'll get back the percentage of whatever he didn't actually kill. I mean, of whatever he didn't actually build, but I know he does finish it in time. T1mz has got so much resources in the bank at the moment. 39 vills, 46, 38, and 41. So Smiga pulling ahead on eco. And Ares actually the lowest out of our players at the moment. Great attempt here from T1mz, but Wade's perfectly aware of it, just garrisoning everything at the moment. A good number of throwing axemen there. They're not going to deal a huge amount to the Decurions, but be very handy against legionaries. And the spearmen will be able to clean up the Decurions. He's trying to go for a quick market now to make up for the fact that he's been playing the least greedy and the most aggressively threw out all this. He can use this to get it ahead, but in a way, going idle here has been good for Tim's because he's going to catch this, but he's not going to be aware that there's spearmen coming in. So Tim's is actually potentially going to lose quite a lot out of this. He has delayed the market there, but there's a lot of counters to his Decurions, the big beefy boys. They're quite slow. Camels won't be able to really snare them at all though. It'll take a little bit of damage through all that. He's already lost 2 of them. Smiga going to age 3, getting some Gatherer Elephants. Wade not really producing a lot in the way of army at the moment. But he won't be far off age 3 himself, which he's got in the queue. But Tim's just chilling. Ares really... Well, Smiga's really moving up on Ares' doorstep, and Ares, I think he's aware that there's something about to go down here, so he's getting ready. Yeah, he's seen the stragglers heading across. But it looks as though these two are about to push out together. Tim's is getting ready. Wade's just finishing off some more barracks over here. Gonna add another longhouse as well. He's really walled in that armory quite well. He's starting to get a bit of vision with that outpost. Smiga hitting Silver Age now. Ares now has the market up, so he'll be able to start making some caravans. I don't think he has just yet though. Team Yellow and Blue, a little bit split at the moment. The team Red and Green aren't really punishing them for it. Wade has actually pinched a hell of a lot of resources over this side. If he like walls this off or puts a fortress down, you know, Tim's doesn't have a lot of late game resources to get to. The South team needs to actually really deal a lot of damage quite quickly here because their late game resource potential, I mean, I suppose they're building up and pinching all this off Ares, all this real estate, but you know, Wade has actually done a good job of being quite expansive here, taking out that hunt. He'll probably get on this gold mine soon and then even work back towards this other south gold mine. Garda warriors streaming forward. In fact, this will be quite hard for Ares to deal with if Wade shows up late here. This main town center for Ares is going to fall. There's still a lot of fish here to be gathered too, so this is going to hurt. Ares hitting Silver Age now. Wade is heading in to try and support Ares through all this, because they are fighting on Ares' doorstep. They can take out Wade's army. All alone here for a bit, Ares. So iron smelting finishing up for Wade. He's had age 3 for a little while now, so he's going to get some solid damage out with that. Throwing Axemen, as good as they are with the kiting, not quite as quick to kill off opponents as potentially Axemen with the champion upgrade. So Smiga and Tim's ultimately trying to just force Wade back a little bit and then dive Ares' army. Although if Wade doesn't stutter step properly here, he potentially could lose a lot. In fact, Tim's went in on Ares while Smiga's turned around and actually fought Wade here. Ekes in the mix now. The Tim's Axeman champion now finishing up for Ares. Smiga leading in terms of overall population above everyone. Tim's is going to need to try and get these guys back in the fight here. He and Smiga are having to retreat a little bit. Wade and Ares have done a really good job of defending through all this. And we've got caravan production starting for Ares. Some armor upgrades. It doesn't look like he's got much in the way of He does have melee damage. He's only ranged. Good armor upgrades here from Tim's. He's got H3 melee armor. Good melee damage here from Wade. Getting melee armor soon as well. Switching to hard jar production. Oh, Tim's is actually sort of forcing Wade back here and picked off a couple of villagers that were on that hub before it expired. A lot of resources in the bank at the moment. Tim's struggling a little bit for gold. He does have this gold mine up here though. So if he can get on top of that, he can maintain a lot of production, but yeah, he was struggling for gold a bit there. These guys need to work on getting markets. Wade, Smiga, and Tim's, they all need to get markets. Right now, Ares is the only one that's kind of set up in that regard. I mean, you probably want to trade back to an ally town center because of the bonus you get out of that. But Wade's actually, he's been on gold mines and he's got plenty of gold in the bank himself, so he's alright in that regard. He might not necessarily need to get on the caravans too quickly. Tim's trying to wall himself in a little bit there. Wonder if we're really going to see much in the way of harass from any of our players here. Outpost there from Tim's. Outpost there from Wade. He's keeping a bit of an eye on what Tim's is doing here, because yeah, he is going to start setting up for market trade over here. Shield Trust finishing up for Tim's, which could be handy because there is quite a bit of range damage now in the Egyptian army. Tim's just going to want to be careful that he doesn't get engaged here. And meanwhile, Smiga can try and work down another one of Ares town centers. The villagers are going to be pretty safe in the long run there. And Ares is going to lose this TC. Wade said, you know what, stuff it, I'm going to hit Tim's because his base is wide open. So this slow-moving Norse death ball is marching its way across the map. Ares and Smiga duke it out. There is a little bit of a foresight here for Tim's, but not much. Most of that got taken out by Ares before. A few idlers here for Tim's, but these TCs are pretty naked at the moment. Going to try and clean up some of this, taking out those berserkers, but more of them are coming in to disrupt his gold and food gathering over here. Wade has got all his H3 upgrades, so things are looking pretty good for him at the moment. There's a little bit more food and he might be able to go to H4. Oh, he needs a bit more wood as well. So he's just going to actually dump more resources into army at this stage, because he's actually dealing a lot of damage to Tim's at this point. Smiga's headed back across to try and help him out, because he's managed to force Ares to retreat for the moment, but a lot of damage that's been done to Tim's. Yes, could be a very scary situation for the team on the south side. I mean, Smiga should be able to beat the army of Wade here, just considering what he's got with all these blade chariots. Like, it's a very infantry-centric army. But now with Tim's being taken out, it's going to be a bit of a 2 versus 1 situation for a little while here with the armies. So Ares is going to try raiding a bit, because bear in mind, this isn't really all that walled off for Smiga, so he's going to drop a few villages over here. He'd be sub 60. Only 41 vills left for Tim's at this stage. Those hard jars and berserkers have been very scary. Tim's just trying to get place of mining, restart farms. He needs to get a lot of gold though, is the main thing. He needs to get on top of that gold mine. Get another market established ASAP. Going for a TC. Ares trying to raid a little bit, but these camels are going to get caught here. There's one elephant in the mix too. So it's going to be a bit of a loss for Ares, but he and Wade, I think overall, are both ahead of the player sitting opposite them on the map. Ooh, and this is not great for Tim's. He hasn't actually got a lot to back this up, so these Hajars actually, once they take out the storehouse, they'll probably move on to the next one, and then on to the villages. Actually, Wade's scene is just going straight for the villages, which is brutal for Tim's because he's really trailing on eco pop relative to everyone else at the moment. Actually, Smiga's actually trailing Wade, and Wade's trailing Ares, so there's not much of an economy here for the team on the south side of the map. There is a big army here for Smiga. Wade busted through the gates, really putting the pressure on Tim's. He knows if he can take him out, he can start pushing into Smiga as well, and really close out this game here. He's having to be a bit careful here, try and kite. Not really getting any raiding opportunity, but he's buying time for Wade to basically finish the game at this stage. Tim's trying to go for that market. He's brought himself in once again. Wade, you know, he's pushed him off the gold mine, so this is really critical. Tim's, his gold eco is in tatters at the moment. Like, Wade has contested and won all this mid-map gold on their side of the map. Tim's isn't able to get over on the right side of the map easily, and his caravans are being picked off now from Ares, so this is really punishing. Smiga's actually mounting a great push here. I don't know if he's got enough to do this though. Well, there is still some Taranga in the mix. He needs to control this, and while this is going on, he's having to deal with being attacked at home. More caravans in production here for Tim's. Once again, his TC under a bit of threat. Smiga having to head home now, and Wade is really pulling in to the leaderboard at the top of the scores with Golden Age on the way here. Nearly maxed. Tim's, what are you doing? Where are you going? Save the TC. He hasn't finished this off. What's he doing? Oh no, that's going to be costly for him. So really smart of Wade to try and just focus this down, actually. I was thinking, oh, he's overcommitting a bit, he's just going to lose these guys, but then Tim's actually backed out for whatever reason to try and help out Smiga here, because the rest of Wade's army is just inside Smiga's base, and GG, I think that'll be it. That's all she wrote. Well played to our players. So Ares and Wade proving too strong for Smiga and Tim's today. So some really smart play there by Ares and Wade, pushing together. Initially, actually, they were the more split apart team, but after that initial defense, I think they thought they were pushing together and then backing off and then sort of being quite smart about when to split push. So GG, well played guys.